Well, welcome back, everyone. It's Nicola Cairncross here, and today I wanted to share with you something that came up in a conversation with one of my clients. I was talking to them about something they needed to do to their website, and they were groaning because they're finding it very difficult to find someone reliable to do the work for them. They said to me, Nicola, how can I find a WordPress developer near me? And I said, well, why do you want to find one near you? And they trotted out this great long list of reasons. The fact that it was going to be much more convenient because they'd be able to drop things round. They'd be able to have meetings instead of having to have Zoom meetings or telephone conversations. They thought someone local would be less likely to let them down because they'd have their reputation to worry about. And also they thought they'd be able to find someone who came recommended. I'm going to go through all those reasons and show you what's wrong with the thinking there in a minute. And at the very end, I'm going to show you why you need to be looking for someone to work with who's not local to you. And then right at the end, I'm going to tell you how to vet those people to make sure that you only get the very best people working for you. So let's talk a little bit about the nature of the beast, shall we? And the reason I'm able to do that is because I am one of them. I remember the excitement I felt at the beginning of 2006, because don't forget, I learned to code websites in 1995 using HTML code for the World Wide Web. And I was really very thrilled when WordPress came along because it was obvious immediately it was going to make my life an awful lot easier. So the nature of the beast is that anyone who's able to do this kind of deep technical work is going to be an introvert, probably. You might not think I'm an introvert because I'm a confident introvert, which means I do love to go out and go to events, and I'm perfectly happy talking on the camera to you today. But actually, I'm a confident introvert, but I am an introvert. And that means that I'm able to do the deep dive learning work, and it's called hyperfocus, actually, the deep dive learning work that's required to get really under the hood of WordPress and know how it works. I've had over 17 years experience of working with all different kinds of businesses using WordPress websites, and I'm pretty confident I know exactly what this thing can do. And more importantly, what it can do for you and how it can help your business. I've even strayed from the path recently and tried other methods of making websites. I wanted to make sure I was up to date, and no, I've thoroughly tested them and they are still not as good as WordPress. WordPress developers are going to be highly organized. They're also going to want to organize their diary so that they're working in the flow, so they're doing certain types of tasks grouped together. That kind of person is not going to be very amenable to the idea of you turning up on the doorstep with a big bag of photos and some scribbled notes that you want me to turn into a website. So they're actually always going to look for always going to look for clients who are a bit further away, so they're not likely to just turn up on the doorstep and ring the bell. Yes, diary zoning is very important when doing this kind of work because you really need to get into your flow. And actually, you can often find several hours have gone past without you even realizing, because you've been concentrating so hard on solving a conundrum or a problem or making something look really, really beautiful. Do we value our reputation as much as someone who lives locally? Yes, we absolutely do. It's a lot easier to ruin someone's reputation online if they haven't done a good job. And my reputation online is extremely important to me, and I protect it at all costs, mainly by making sure that my clients are always, always happy. The other thing is I'm not going to waste time going to meetings. The traveling time is completely wasted, even if I could learn something on the way. I just prefer to do Zoom. I've been doing Zoom for at least 10 years now. Whenever they first invented it, I was straight on there. And before that, it was Skype. I never could see the point in going to meetings. I prefer to meet people at things like conferences or informal events, not business networking things. I've tried all that and I just didn't like it. And I can assure you that most web developers will feel exactly the same. So what are the benefits to you of using a more remote WordPress developer for your work? Well, for a start, it forces you to be more organized. It forces you to have a little think about what you're trying to say. If you're communicating by email or WhatsApp, which is what my clients do, then often it helps to get your thoughts out of your head and onto paper, and then for you to be able to read them back before you pass them on to your web developer. Also, by writing it down, it gives that person a chance to think before they respond, so they can often come back to you with better answers, better solutions, new ideas, different ways of doing things you may not have thought of. Often your WordPress developer will keep different hours to you. So you might find out that you issue some instructions or make a request on the day before, and then while you're asleep or hanging out with your family in the evening, that person works a different schedule to you, and they might well get the work done overnight or while you're asleep. Nothing more marvelous than waking up to that. A WordPress developer who works remotely is likely to have a wider range of clients. because they're not geographically limited to certain kinds of businesses. That means they're going to be highly experienced, and it also means that they're going to be able to bring experience of one kind of work from a different kind of clients to your work, for example. Which means that, someone like me is going to have a solution to a marketing problem, a solution to a business problem, just because I've seen someone else doing it and participated in that solution. Whereas if you work with someone locally, you might find that they've got a limited experience of just working with one kind of client, for example, retail clients or automotive clients, for example. This video is sponsored by WPExpertUK.com. You run your business, we look after your WordPress site. Basic updates and security patches or full website management, we've got you covered. Available during UK business hours, it's like having an in-house webmaster on your team for a fraction of the cost, a quick message away. Founder Nicola Cairncross has been proudly using WordPress to create the majority of her and her Clicks and Leads clients' websites for over 17 years. We know WordPress inside out. Just visit WPExpertUK.com to find out about our 3 simple price packages. And now, back to the video. So, how to tell if you might have found the right WordPress developer for you? First thing is, look at the way they communicate. Are you talking on email? Are you talking on WhatsApp? Do they come back to you in a certain time frame? Are they able to express themselves? Do you understand what they're saying to you? Do you understand their questions? Are they looking to add value in your communications, or are they just literally trying to get the bare minimum out of you to do the job? Next thing is, I would definitely have a Zoom meeting at the beginning, even if you're not going to continue communicating like that. If you're going to be communicating through a ticket or a support desk, email or WhatsApp. I like WhatsApp initially, it's nice and informal, but then if there's a bit more complex or I need more questions answered, I'll often follow up with the email and get you to reply by email so that I've got a written record of what you want doing. Then I would seriously think about getting someone to do a first project for you. Think about a small bit of work that you're willing to pay to get done, and then you can test the person out. And any decent WordPress developer worth their salt won't mind doing that. You have to know that you're going to be able to communicate with each other. You have to be able to trust them. You're going to be letting them into your business website, for heaven's sake, and an awful lot of the time they'll have access to your email mailing list, and all of those things are very precious. So you do need to establish trust. I would certainly have a simple agreement. It doesn't need to be more than about 2 or 3 pages long. Just thinking about in the worst case scenario, what might happen. What will happen if you want to move on? What will happen if you don't want to work with that person anymore? Are you going to be able to move away clean? So many times I've moved on from a developer in the past, before I got into doing it myself, this is, and I found that I couldn't make any changes afterwards because they'd custom coded some of the website. You really need to avoid that. So that's one thing to ask any potential WordPress developer. I always like my clients to be able to walk away clean, only use themes and plugins and that other people can use easily. And so another developer could pick up where I left off. Obviously, they won't have my 25 years of digital marketing experience, but people want to move on. They want to work with other people. It's fine. I just want my clients to be able to walk away cleanly and be pleased with what we've done together. The other thing to look out for is your WordPress developer working in a productized fashion? That means, do you know exactly what you're getting for the money, if it's a retainer or a recurring payment? Are you happy with that? Do you think it's good value? Do you get any extras? For example, every one of my clients gets a marketing tip every month based on me looking over their website and seeing what they could be doing better. All of my packages comes with a certain amount of hours, so I'm not trying to upsell you. Basically, I'm just trying to make sure that you get your money's worth by giving you ideas about what we can do in the time you've got allotted anyway. So that means I'm more of a marketing partner than just a WordPress developer. And of course, the other thing to look for is testimonials. I always put on my website my best testimonials, and I'm sure that everyone else does the same thing. But as you'll see, that all my testimonials have got specific sums of money that I've helped my clients make, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Your WordPress developer should be a trusted partner to try and help you improve your marketing online and attract clients online and create leads online of people who might turn into clients in the future. So you've got to view this as a business-like arrangement. In the words of Michael Gerber in the E-Myth Revisited, everybody always does the best they can in the absence of a good system. So another thing to watch out for is, does your new WordPress developer talk in terms of systems? Do they have some systems themselves? Do you know exactly what's going to happen to you? and your business in their hands. The system should be uncomplicated, informal, and highly effective. I hope all this has helped. If you've got any questions or comments at all, don't hesitate to put them in the comments below. I always look forward to seeing your comments, and I answer each one individually. And I just hope some of the things I've covered today have helped you to find a WordPress developer who suits you and your business. See you next time.